to the abyss, the Maiden's Deceit now. It is actually now May 5th. It's about the morning time. What's been happening is for the last several hours, Guido has been... I actually don't know what Guido's been doing. It just occurred to me. What have you been doing back at Urak, Guido, for the last, 12 hours?
So I was meeting with the guy in charge, the governor, I guess.
Okay.
And we had the scan of me.
Mm-hmm. Which was trying to figure out what the heck you were and failed.
Right. And then we never really discussed what happened after the scan.
Right.
So,
Okay, so we'll cover that in just a second.
Okay.
Snarg, you're probably a little worn out, but only a little. It's mostly a mental worn out because of all that tech that you just had dumped into your brain and then dumped out of your brain. But you have freedom to do whatever you want during the 12-hour trip.
Sure. I think we're going to coordinate a poof to the Fox Ridge place, so I could prep them for what's coming, and then get back before we hit Iraq.
Okay. And so Snarg is going to try and talk with Zariel and convince her of that, obviously. Zariel spends the entire 12 hours... No, I'm kidding. What actually ends up happening, based on some off-camera stuff we've already talked about, Zariel was meeting with Orc, and the Orc gentleman... You're still muted. The Orc gentleman... You're muted. I like the gestures. This is... Oh, okay, I understand everything now.
No, what I said is for all those viewers who are watching at home, having just watched the previous episode last week or whatever, this is the orc that I was talking to with the very scary group that's going to change my head and other crap. And so make comments of his name because we don't remember, and we need to go back and watch.
I'll edit it together at some point, and then I'll have to listen to it because I edit those manually. It takes forever to do. Of course, the Wild Lore run is preventing me from doing that now. Otherwise, I've already had it done.
Where's my volume stick?
It's gone. So
There it is.
he's going to spend like an hour, basically, trying to convince Zariel of the benefits of joining his particular organization that he represents. He will mention a few things to her, like the fact that he actually made a contract with them, moved on, was released from it, tried to work for some other people as a wet work spy, hated it, went back, ended up rejoining. He mentions how they're interested in order and interested in getting things organized, and how the current leadership of the world
all of these high ideals
has failed.
and
All
he's
these
kind
great
of getting
things
a little
and-
frustrated with high ideals.
Yeah, it's weird. She's just like, you know what, screw off, and so she blasts him into a million pieces.
I did not do that.
Oh, that's good, because he might detonate if you did that. Might. It would be a dice roll. Oh, and Rory's trying really hard not to kill a human. I just want to give you guys an update for what's happening in the other campaign here, for our viewers at home.
He beat the guy for 10 times his health, and he's trying to argue for why he didn't actually kill the guy.
Yes. Anyway, so basically Zariel's like, look, go away. And the guy actually just backs off. He's like, all right, I know when I'm not wanted. I'm not trying to do a hard sell.
He didn't say go away.
She was very polite and diplomatic.
No.
And she said, I will
She
rip your
didn't say-
eyeballs out if you don't. What'd she say? What are you doing?
Windows is currently running Steam's compatibility mode. Why am I running compatibility? What does that even mean?
I don't know. I don't do it.
Why is
I don't
Steam
either.
running?
Because I was trying to open it up to see. I don't know, because I was.
She got bored.
Anyway, Z told it. Basically, what Z told the guy is that, that sounds nice and all, but unless you can show me proof that you could do, that they can do what you say they can do, then I'm not going to agree to that.
Yeah. So he understood. He says, yep, I'm not trying to put you on a hard sell. And he pretty much goes and keeps to himself for the remainder of the journey. Or whatever actually happens next, because we don't actually know what happens next. Because the next thing that happens is Snarg barges in and says, oh, God,
He tried to explode himself.
I forgot how to talk, apparently.
Yeah. Well, what happened is just before this, one of the Olthoi chef was like, "Hey," or what? No, the Olthoi is not the chef. Excuse me, the Olthoi is a medic. Anyways, the chef is like, "Hey, I just found this new thing. It's called a ghost pepper. You want to try one, Snarg?" And Snarg's like, "Sure," and ate like the whole thing in one bite. So his tongue is on fire, literally, right now.
It's pretty good.
Every time he opens his mouth, flames and smoke come out.
It adds damage to my bite.
Bluklog of Myrowitch.
Thank you. It was a mosswort. I knew it wasn't
Yep.
an Olthoi. So, anyways, Snarg comes in.
You gotta tie the pepper. Ethel, I need to tell about something about the hall.
Zariel.
I did not understand a word you just told me.
I need to talk to you about something out in the hall.
What?
I need to talk to you about something out in the hall. Away from,
He's gone.
this guy, I don't know his name anymore.
The
He's
guy's not in my room anymore.
he left.
He's in the guest quarters.
He
Oh.
left.
I don't know why I was seeing him in here then. All right.
Hang on. Let me roll that stealth again really quick to make sure he's staying hidden. There we go. Yep. Okay. He's still hidden.
He's just sitting there and nobody can see him. All right.
He's just like he's literally like this. Like
Yeah, see, he wasn't actually an orc. He was a Sclavi, and he has a lot of like kimono dragon or chameleon dragon or whatever in him, and so he's like just changed the color of his scales to blend in with the crystal behind him. And anytime he moves, he's like,
Eyeballs looking different directions.
yep. Just to make sure he's taking in the whole room at the same time. Snarg, you think you're hallucinating from that ghost pepper?
Well, it's not the first time this has happened.
That's true.
So I'll just roll with it. Like, all right, I need to get a quick trip to Fox Ridge, if you don't mind. I'm going to let them know about the Daotian army that apparently is advancing on them for no particular reason that I can tell.
okay, well, I'll have him land and let you off.
Well, no, I'm wondering if we could just like poof over there, because I'm not going to run there.
Hey, Snarg, every time you talk about me being desolate at this point and using my ability, aren't you supposed to be rolling to find out whether or not you hate me?
I don't know. I haven't for
Because it's not something
it's
that
gone-
you eventually build up an immunity to.
I don't actually know, kids. It's
Sis,
been
if you recall,
different.
you're not a normal desolate anymore.
Yes, I know I'm not, but you said that anytime we talk about translation, that it causes will saves again.
Okay, so that's not actually 100% true.
Okay.
There's an added wrinkle there that nobody's aware of yet.
Well, you need to talk to me about added wrinkles.
Never.
Apparently. So I'll kind of raise an eyebrow because translation isn't something that Snarg has voluntarily asked for previously.
That's true.
And be like, yeah, sure. I'm not coming with you though. I'm kind of not leaving this dude on my ship by himself.
You
Oh,
could
that's
take him
fine.
with you.
Oh, by the way, since he's not
Just
at all,
leave him there.
just be careful. His head explodes.
You mean like he has a temper?
No. I mean, like, here, I jotted down a couple of my notes. By the way, if you go to my room, look at the wall. I've done a couple things. I don't understand them.
I'll just kind of walk down the hallway with Snark because his room's like just down the
Yeah,
hall.
it's
from mine.
right there. Yeah.
Yeah,
You're
so
all
I
up
just
in
kind
the
of
clan
walk down the hallway with Snark and open up, and the only thing he wrote down about the guy exploding was that he has a bomb.
He has a bomb in his head.
Now you didn't even write he has a bomb in his head. You just said he has a bomb.
Okay.
I remember because you said that out loud last
I
episode.
remember that too.
All
So
right.
I'm just gonna walk down and I'm gonna be like, he has a bomb.
Wait, really quick. Roll knowledge engineering to see if you understand any of the scribbles.
All right, hold on. Let me find a
Snarg, do
Firefox
me a favor and roll knowledge engineering retroactively
to
Okay.
see if you
to see how
recognize
well
the
you,
scripts.
yeah, to see how well you scribed them down when you knew what you were talking about.
A natural 20.
Oh, nice. Okay, so these are actually pretty well transcribed, if hasty. Some of them are incomplete because he
No, I don't want to restart my computer.
suddenly.
Figures the one time I roll a natural 20, it's on.
Dice Repolar.
So,
It's this. Oh, it's a 23 total. That's how much engineering knowledge I have.
oh my god! Well, I was basically just asking for literal legibility, not.
Oh, okay.
I
not
rolled
complexity.
17, so give me a second because I know I have more than 3 knowledge engineering.
You might know enough to actually make some semblance of some of this.
Yeah.
Probably not, in all honesty.
Well, I don't know what happened before I stopped halfway through the gun, so I don't know what's before then.
I think I decided to decide arbitrarily later. Like literally, I
Whenever-
think that was my actual decision. It's like, if we ever come back to this, I'll just make up whatever he wrote down. It's not that hard.
I rolled a 17 and I have a 7, which makes that a 24.
Okay. You're pretty sure this is some very advanced schematic stuff? I mean, you actually rolled pretty well. But my point is that you are basically not Galileo. Da
Come here,
Vinci.
Phelan.
You're basically Da Vinci staring at the
I'm not giving him
blueprints
crap.
of the Enterprise D.
I'm confused as shit.
Yeah, and you're intelligent enough to recognize that you don't know what you're looking at. And you're losing a battle with a dog, apparently.
This is Phelan.
Very
Guido.
cute puppy.
Okay, now go. No, that's my bread. Go. Go.
Anyways, so yeah, you're looking at gibberish, basically. Very complicated gibberish.
Okay.
However, there is one thing about a bomb. It's very clear.
It says he has a bomb.
He actually did like a diagram of like what it would look like, the explosion. And by diagram, I mean like just a
It's a
drawing.
stick figure with the head. Just all
Yeah, it's just...
Kawa.
Mushroom cloud.
Yep, there's a mushroom cloud coming off
No,
of his
it's okay.
head.
It's just really dense.
And he has a little frowny face.
Yes.
X's for eyes.
And there's a little word bubble that says, "Oh no."
No, wouldn't that be a little sign?
Yeah, he's got the...
The Wile E. Coyote sign?
But I'll say, I don't know what this means, but I learned it from that guy you were talking to.
You learned it. When did you have a chance to talk to him about it?
When I didn't.
So how'd you learn it from him?
You know, the same way we learned about the thing when we were back in that other mining town. When
The
we were
thing.
interrogating that guy in the warehouse. We were looking for that crime boss who was doing the weird stuff. in
Matthew?
town. I think that was his
Can't
name.
believe you remember that name.
I have a cousin
Yes.
named Matthew.
Well, he is a half banderling, so...
That same thing. I don't get to use it a whole lot because normally we just kill people. I don't get a chance to.
You know, you can stop doing that.
But it's so much easier just to kill them.
And much more fun.
And it's good exercise. We burn a lot of calories. You know, I have to keep my girlish figure in check here.
I hope you're listening, Rory.
About the girlish figure.
No, about the killing is fun. Oh, I'm done poking fun. Okay. In the middle of this conversation, as you're talking, you realize that if you go to Fox Ridge, it would be really awesome if all three of you went there at the same time. As opposed to
So what
just
you're
one
saying
of you.
is that we should go... All right, so how about this? We'll poof over there, realize that they're nowhere near here yet, start the preliminary preparations, and then we'll go and get Guido.
Excellent plan.
Yes.
That sounds like a great time to jump cut to Guido.
No, I'm going to open a portal, let Snarg go through it, close the portal, and then proceed to go get Guido.
God. Okay. I'd rather not have Snarg die.
We're going to go back for him
When?
after I get Guido.
In like 12 hours.
If I don't decide to join the Viotians.
Oh my, you haven't decided that. You actively told me you decided not to.
No, I actively told you that he's going to have to show me some proof before I agree.
That's true, but
That is not deciding not to. If they decide not to take me because they don't want to have to show me
all right,
proof,
all right.
then-
I can be an adaptive GM. I can make this work.
It's fine. I got 12 hours to prepare. That's more than enough time.
I'm just going to go ahead and share this. So the original plan was based on some of the timeline. They were going to be attacking as of this very moment. You were going to port in, and Fox Ridge was under siege.
They got there in 10 minutes. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, they could do that.
All right.
Actually, it's been more closer to 3 hours, by the way. Because the original advanced force was launched way back when you were in Iraq. Still impressive, but just not quite as insane.
Well, that just means I have to send a message back to
But
the teacup.
I have decided not to have that happen.
Oh.
Because I don't want Snarg fighting that battle by himself.
I'm not fighting bad. I've got like at least like 5 guys over there.
Oh my god. Okay, so instead, so Z opens the portal and Snarg jumps through.
And Z closes the
And
portal.
Z closes the portal, and that's about when the Directorate ship shows up. But first we're going to go to Guido, who's over there.
The Directorate ship was already there. They just
No.
hadn't landed.
No, a different Directorate ship.
Oh.
So anyways, cutting to Guido. Guido is talking with Arnoth of Slayer, who is the governor of Yarak. And as of this point, Guido has claimed basically an ancient pact of sanctuary with him, which we discussed last time on camera, so I don't have to rehash that. Guido is now doomed. What are you doing, Guido?
Driving a fence. Oh, sorry.
So
thought
Guido,
you were-
Guido walks into the room with Arnoth, and he's like, hang on. Pencil. All right, I'm good now.
I thought you were commenting because my camera just shifted because I
Pencil.
hit it with my arm. Okay, so I am with the governor, Arnoth of Slayer,
Yes.
and we are discussing the sanctuary terms, or what? So we've completed the scan, and what?
They couldn't
Right.
figure
What's the
out where you
nature of
are.
our?
Okay, so he's gonna... you've put him in a very difficult position, so he's like, all right, look. You're terrible, sis. Don't throw something. I said don't. Nope. You are the worst person in the universe. Except you're not, because I've encountered people around here that I hate. But you're the second worst person in the universe. Okay, so Guido is smart enough to recognize that Arnoth literally can't speak openly, basically no matter where you are. So he can't actually say what he really wants to say and what he really means to say. In fact, he's trying to keep himself very composed.
Which is, you fucking idiot! What the hell did you do? What are you? Why did you beat those people's ribs out?
That's a good question. Why did you do it? No, the mere fact that he is basically not showing any emotion right now and being very controlled and very composed pretty much shows to you how the opposite of that he actually is right now. So he sits down and says, why don't we talk about business? I was hoping maybe you could help me to resolve this little dilemma without any issues for our benefactors.
Okay.
Wait, Roll awareness.
29, surprisingly.
You probably think I mean to hear the guy, but no, what I actually mean by that is you can hear, or you can tell rather, on your way in that they have actually they have posted a sentinel just outside of the mayor's office back in the hallway, basically.
Okay.
No commentary on that. He's just
I'm gonna have
there.
to join them to get Guido back, aren't I?
Not necessarily.
Or I'm gonna have to raise the city, and I don't have a good enough ship to do that.
Arnoth has 2 plans, but he can't share them with Guido, so he's going to see what Guido says and kind of work with that.
So he was saying, let's talk business.
Yes.
Okay.
Now that you are my slave!
So I've been trying to start some trade routes. We could talk about that. Said business.
Okay, let me think here. In response to this, he nods a bit and says, "Trade has always been the lifeblood of the Yarak people and of the Nevaria Confederacy as a whole. It's the entirety of what we have used in order to base everything of our culture, our society, our history on. The coordination, the cooperations between 2 people, between 8, 50, a million, it doesn't matter. I would be remiss, therefore, if I were not to point out that I am not actually the person to discuss such things with. I am, of course, governor of this wonderful, fine state, and I have many other pressing matters to attend to that do not involve trade. However, or trade on that scale. I'm going to rephrase it. Trade on that scale. That's not the sort of thing I handle. I could give you some information about my assistant, and he writes a little bit of information down on a piece of paper and hands it to you. It says this might be able to be someone. If you want to discuss that kind of business, that's entirely within the realm of feasibility.
Wonderful, wonderful. And so this is an individual that would either be able to arrange for some kind of trade agreement or direct me to someone who could. I'm just making sure I, both as a player and character, know what not looking at the paper. Intentionally not looking at the paper.
Okay.
I'm trying to have this discussion with him of, so this would be a person that, just trying to draw out the conversation more and maybe,
He's basically he's never mind. I forgot the word.
He's never minding.
That thing that politicians do when they don't
right.
want a vote to go.
Filibuster.
Thank you.
That's called.
Yeah,
That
no,
works.
that's not what I'm doing.
No.
No, I'm basically trying to. So, Arnoth cannot speak openly.
Absolutely correct.
What can I get information-wise from him without him actually saying anything? That's what I'm trying to do.
This may sound like a weird question, but it depends on what you want to know. Which I, the GM, don't know what you want to know in this case. He is trying to fix the cluster that has just happened in his city. Trying to salvage your life because, I shouldn't tell you why. I'll keep that information to myself for the moment. But he has a vested interest in you at this moment in time. And you could tell. Otherwise, he wouldn't have bothered granting you sanctuary. He wouldn't have ever done that.
So, let me do this. Knowledge politics.
Okay.
What... this is a bad way of asking this question. What kind of topics or conversation could I direct this conversation with to get more information on, I'll say, the occupying force or why he is
Working with the Viotians.
Does that make sense?
I didn't hear your last word. I'm sorry.
Controlled.
Ah, controlled. Okay, that makes more sense. Okay.
You want to roll on that,
Yeah, give me a
or
roll. Give me a roll.
okay? Natural 20. So 33.
33. Okay, that's a very good roll. It's an exceptionally good roll. You start discussing with him a bit of history. You start talking about how the states came to come together in the first place. A little bit of history for our viewers while we're doing this. The Confederacy of Navarre was the third of the major great nations to come together, and they came together in direct response to posturing and position that was happening from what will eventually become the Illuvian Kingdom. At the time, it was not the kingdom; it was just a bunch of wealthy aristocrats who controlled a large amount of the territory, and they kept pulling.
Fiefdoms.
Yeah, fiefdoms. And they kept pulling the whole, we're just going to take what's yours, we're just going to take what's yours, we're just going to take what's yours things, and basically bullied all of the forces in what was actually Zykal, or not Zykal, excuse me, wrong area, in the area of Al-Jalima, which was one of the first settlements in the Navarre area. And that pushed them back, so they actually abandoned Al-Jalima. And he's telling you, you're mentioning this, and so you're bringing up how, under those trying and terrible circumstances, they had to find whatever friends they could, whatever allies were necessary in order to push back against the greater threat, even though the orcs at the time and the banderlings at the time and the ogres at the time and the trolls at the time not only were against each other, but also fought amongst their own clans. They all had to unite under these circumstances to be able to push back the overwhelming force that the Illuvians had. Now, the one really weird thing, though, is they didn't really have the kind of military power that the Illuvians had. So they had to fight back in some other way, and since the primary threat of them was more of a economic one, it seemed natural for Navarre to try and use other avenues of approaching power in order to establish their sovereignty.
Okay.
I know that's a little bit of a back and forth, but the idea is there you start the discussion, and that's also partially what he says in return to you, to try and get across what he's trying to convey.
Okay. And is there anything out of that having that historical information as a character that I would pull?
Well, actually, yes. The funny thing is, I'm not gonna let you dice roll this. I'm gonna make you the player decide this. Basically, it boils down to this: from Guido's perspective, either this man has allied himself with the occupying force as a necessity against something that's worse, or he has allied himself with something you have no idea who they are, in order to be going against this occupying force, which is worse. And he has been doing so, and he's been trying very, very hard not to do so openly, because doing so openly would be suicide.
Okay, that makes sense.
So,
Okay. So I will thank him for our lovely talk, and showing the paper. I'm going to go meet with your associate, and let me know if you need anything else.
excellent. I believe that will be all then.
I will take your leave.
So he immediately gets back to paperwork. While Guido's leaving, he's going to go interact with this trade person, who is actually just a trade person. They are legitimately someone who just is a, I can think of the term, secretary of trade, basically. This will give Guido an excellent opportunity to try and set up a huge amount of connections in the area, mercantile-wise, if he so chooses to do so.
You should so choose to do so.
It's up to you.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
totally up to you. We could cover details later if you're okay with that.
Yep.
But just don't let me forget that you are basically in with the Secretary of Trade of the Navarre Confederation right now. Meanwhile, Snarg, you've just ported in at Fox Ridge. Let me change the picture really quick. There we go. You're at Fox Ridge. There are lycanthropes everywhere.
All right.
There's also about 4 frigates in the sky.
Of whose?
Well, that's a good question. I'm going to go ahead and give you some general information, but I'd like you to roll, we'll say knowledge engineering or knowledge politics. Take your pick.
I will definitely do politics.
Okay. To get more specific information.
Yes. So let's see. This one rolled really well last time, so we'll try this. Let me down. I have a 16
Total?
total.
I'll give you a little bit more information. You can tell based on some of the coloration of what the hull has actually been painted that some of those ships used to be Show and some of those ships used to be Nevere. And you see at least one ship that you don't even recognize at all up there.
Oh, okay. But they're not firing at us, are they?
No. They're just hovering up in the
Okay.
air there.
Just want to make sure.
The,
Sometimes you miss those important details.
the
And
ridges.
you just realize that you're under fire, and then
You're just like, oh, that ship is really pretty. So there are, of course, many lycanthropes rushing around trying to get the ridge actually constructed and ready to go for the airship docks and whatnot.
okay. Where would the officers' quarters be from here? Basically, I'm
Where
looking
did you
for-
port him to?
One of my safe rooms, there's 5.
I'll pick one that happens to be actually relatively close to the overall operational area of the Blood Fox, which means if you're looking for the Blood Fox officer's place, it's like right down the hall there.
Okay. Basically, I'm going there looking for Terranok.
Who actually happens to be there right now.
Right.
He is up to his elbows in paperwork at the moment. He barely even notices when you come in. He's like, oh, God. Oh, wait, I need sound effects. Oh, God. It's got like this.
Boom! Door gets open.
Oh, hang on.
I guess you didn't get my message.
What?
We're gonna have to talk about this later. How are the defenses right now?
Defenses? We don't even have
Yes.
defenses right now. I mean, okay, that's not true. I don't know, how much you know about those guys up top there. They've been kind of demanding priority on service and repairs and supplies and whatnot. But that's 4 frigates up there, so that's our defenses right now.
Well, that's gonna be good because we're gonna need them in just a little bit.
For what?
How familiar are you
Rampaging
with?
Tuskers.
Rampaging what?
No, I'm not there.
Oh, right.
Well, that's kind of along the lines of what I was gonna say.
Rampaging Tusker.
You heard about the Tuskers that were moving towards Alluvia, right?
No, I haven't.
Well, there's Tuskers moving towards Alluvia coming from Iraq, and they're headed in this direction.
Hang on, he's going to roll to disbelieve, literally, because that is just a ridiculous story. He rolls a 2.
He was rolling
believes.
to disbelieve.
I
those
know.
beliefs.
I wish I'd said I was rolling to believe. I am caught by my own word choice. So he has like this whole 5 seconds of mentally just kind of trying to shift over this hurdle of the ridiculousness. Like, okay. And that's all he says. He's like, okay.
All right. So we need to get ready. I'll help you. I've fought these things before.
Get ready for Tuskers.
Yes.
For
Can I take
Tuskers.
a
Can you?
Yes.
You,
Like, I know it sounds bad, but believe
Sir,
me,
I'd like to tender my resignation.
You know,
He's actually kidding. He does say that, but he's like, I'd like to
Right.
tender my resignation.
very funny. Let's
You wanted Tuskers. Okay.
let's get everyone on
Okay.
deck, and we're gonna start prepping for this. We need the
Oh my God.
directorate's help as well, or whether they're calling themselves. I don't know if they actually gave out their name to him.
Actually, they did. They totally told him
Okay.
they were the director.
We need their help, and then they've got a dog in this fight too, obviously.
Okay.
You do know what a Tusker is, right?
Yeah, you're the big and invincible. You ever read that comic book Tusker Man?
Well, this This is not the time to go in and saying, "Oh no, we're screwed. We're never going to win."
We are screwed, and we aren't going to win. That is a perfectly sane reaction. I don't know why we can't just turn around and surrender. Surrender is a perfectly logical reaction to the... I can't remember exactly what 3PO says in that scene, but...
Look, we still got it out in this.
Wait,
That's
a good point. Can we surrender?
Well, we'll see. I'm going to parlay with them before they even get here.
I'm really interested in the surrender option, sir. Please. I mean, I have a wife and well, okay, no, I don't have a wife or kids. There was this one troll woman I know. She was actually pretty nice, and things were getting kind of serious. And then, well, I mean, okay, so she ended up wanting someone who actually had a real job, and I didn't. And the point being that I would like to someday.
Imagine what she'd say if you went back and said you fought an army of Tuskers and lived.
She'd probably, first of all, she wouldn't believe me. But second of all, she'd be encountering, I'd be like in a bed, strapped there, with every bone in my body.
Look, we don't have to sit here and make funny stories. Let's get everything ready.
Okay. Tuskers! I didn't sign up for Tuskers. I signed up for PMC duty, for merc work.
Look, there are some people who just
attacking
want
us?
because they're idiots.
Well, okay. I'm sorry. What do you want me to do?
Well, let's get everybody, all the officers, everything on deck. I need to talk with the directorate and tell them how they kind of need to adjust their normal airship strategies. And basically, just going to go through and use what I've learned about fighting Tuskers already. What we've learned
Tell
about
them
what
to
they
fly
do.
higher.
Yes.
Yeah, no.
Don't fly
Oh.
low. That's basically the main instructions I'm going to give them. Just fly high. And I kind of know how far they can jump, so that times 2. Or 3, or 4. However high they can get. You know what? Just go as high. Flight ceiling. There you go.
Flight ceiling. Oh, God.
I don't think orbit is an option.
At a certain point, their cannons will start to get slightly less accurate.
Hey, if they're firing and they're not on the ground burning, that's fine. And start getting the fire teams ready. I'll go ahead and give my ring again to Tassie, so she can have, my only limitation is the curvature of the Earth abilities for sniping.
Okay.
That's that ring that has like far sight and everything in it.
Yeah, I know the one you're talking about. I was just looking for my notes on your elites, and I can't find them. Do you have those guys notated?
I have
I have a whole book of
names
them.
and leaders and number of members and their specialties.
Excellent. So you know your squad makeup is what I'm trying to ask.
Yes.
Fantastic. Okay, let's go ahead and skip forward just a little bit to you meeting with a directorate captain.
Okay.
Because none of them would all come down.
Yeah, it's just the one. It's the one who's actually ground aside, anyways. Right now, it's a Sclavi.
Okay.
It's the Maiden's Folly.
So he's like,
That must be very nice tea.
he finishes his tea. Right.
Actually,
sorry.
is he? I do speak Serpent. So
Oh, you do speak Serpent. I'm
do.
sorry. So instead, so he speaks in Serpent initially. You can tell he's just doing it out of sheer habit. He says, "Excellent. You're the what's the term I would use here? Garrison commander."
So I'm spawning
this place.
Serpent. Yes, that's me, Snargle Paul, the leader of Blood Fox.
This is excellent tea. What's it called? Canada Dry? I've never even heard of that.
Never heard of it.
You should try some, sir. Here.
Is it just water with bubbles in it?
Yes, it's and you have to roll to resist how amazing it is.
Whoa.
You get a negative 20 to whatever you roll.
Willpower save?
No, seriously though. So he's drinking his tea.
Mm-hmm.
What can I do for you, sir? A nice facility you have here. I kind of wish the airship docks was actually finished right now. It's a little difficult trying to get our airships landed on the rough terrain nearby.
Well, we got some work ahead of us if we want to keep construction underway. We've got... Have you heard about the army heading in Olivia's direction?
The Tusker army?
Yes.
You want to fight the Tusker army?
We don't have a
No,
choice.
I don't. No, I don't.
You
Let me
want
make that perfectly clear.
to
I
go
do
seek out an army of
No.
Tuskers.
This is the point at which you say they're seeking us out.
They've
They
already
are heading
broken
this direction. We are
God
not
knows
their
how
direction.
many other of our ships, and you want me to put my squadron.
No.
What? Okay.
What we need is pretty much bombardment from orbit, for lack of a better term.
You.
Which means you'll be out of their reach. I realize that may be just blind firing, but based on reports that I've heard, and I'm sure you've heard as well, flying low doesn't end well for airships.
Yeah. How do you plan to deal with their artillery?
I have a lot of specialized strike squads. Based on what I know about the people who are leading them, they are very hierarchy-based. So cutting off the head may disorganize them to the point of total ineffectiveness. Luckily, fielding small strike squads that are good at hit and run, there's Blood Fox's speciality.
Very well. Well, I suppose we can go ahead and provide you covering fire and try to keep them as far away from the actual ridge as possible. What do you plan to tell our workforce?
The workforce, those of us who obviously can't fight, should not be involved in this. We should,
And where are they going to go?
Al-Jalim is the closest place from here. Apologize, I don't have the map up, so that's the only place I know off the top of my head.
No, it is actually relatively close. It's through mountains, so it's not good terrain.
Well, I am friendly with the governor there, so I know I could at least put in a word for them getting accepted.
Runs a very severe tactical risk, though.
You think they'll follow them?
Well, not only that, if they happen to try to flank us on the initial assault, they may find them before they find us.
Which would be good for us, bad for them.
The only other option I can think of is for
Bearing
them
in
to-
mind, I'm not there. I have to keep saying that.
The only other option I can think of is to hold them up deep within the mountain. Which they'll be safe assuming that we win, and they may still be safe assuming that all the military forces are defeated and they can just surrender. But with the amount of time we got, those are the only options that I can think of.
Oh, God.
But I know this sounds bad, but I have fought specifically Tuskers before.
Do you have your phone on you? Okay. So, you fought Tuskers. He's actually going to disbelieve that one. Hang on, roll.
Roll to disbelieve?
He's rolled to disbelieve. He rolled an 18. You have fought Tuskers. Right. He's not even a question. He's just like, right. His confidence just dipped a bit, and so did his morale bonus.
I can't help it if he doesn't believe.
You're claiming to have fought Tuskers, man. Come on. Unless you're going to regale him with tales, and you don't have time for that. Unless you want to.
Well, no. I mean, it's not going to be regaling our tales. It's basically going to be regaling the fire teams and troops and whatnot with how exactly they fight, because I've seen it before. But
I want to know if you're going to tell him about the water incident.
the water incident. Well, I mean, not specifically, but that may come up in they're intelligent and they can be reasoned with.
Reasoning with Tuskers.
I don't know about these specifically because the ones that I talked and worked with were not part of the same group.
Multiple factions. That could be something we could use to our advantage. I'll have to make sure to report that before we're all killed by the Tuskers.
I do plan to try and parlay with them before this even happens because, I mean, as the person who ordered them to move over here is a real, it's a politician, if you get what I mean.
A little bit too well. It's the whole reason we need to, well, the whole reason we're doing all of this anyway is the whole plan.
Yeah. So there's actually no reason for what they're doing at all. So they have no They have no motive to actually wipe out this area.
All right. I'm going to go get our ships prepped. Do you have any kind of an ETA?
Well, perhaps. Now, Titasia, I've given her the ring light, so she can basically just see as far sight, right?
Yeah.
Is she able to see them in the distance or anything when I gave it to her and got her in position?
No.
No. Okay. So based on how far they move, I know at least what they need to get here once in sight.
Yeah, so assuming Tusker normal pace, if they're not in sight, we're talking a bare minimum of, we'll say about 30 minutes is your inside time.
Once they're in sight, 30 minutes then.
Got it.
Basically,
well.
assume that time is ticking down right now.
I will go and get my ships prepped. Good luck,
Yeah.
Commander.
Good luck, Commander.
I can't do his voice at all. John Bailey or whatever his name is. He has such a
yes.
distinct voice.
And
Okay.
now for something completely different.
Wait, what?
Well, the other Geomancer, Turnok of Aggressor, I believe, yes.
Yeah, the Bandoling.
Yes. We're going to do some little Geomancer combat preparation for this. Now, if I recall correctly, this place was built to have a special connection to a ley line.
Yes, the ley line of water.
So, what I'm hoping is that we can use that to our advantage, kind of a Geomancers tapping into the ley line to create the very least hazardous terrains, at the very most some perhaps unique defensive abilities combined with the mountain itself.
Interesting. I like that idea.
Seeing as it is water, I would assume that things like quicksand and whatnot would probably be the most practical applications of it.
You could also probably set up things to have very, very localized, very, very intense storms that could literally grant a huge debuff to anyone in them or do damage. You could also have things to push back, like literally jets of just concentrated water, that kind of a thing. Just think, just about anything trap-wise you could do on a tile, to use the strategy term,
Okay.
is within feasibility, because I like that idea, and I want to encourage you to be creative with this one.
Okay. So we'll set that. He's probably a little bit better of an actual traditional tactician than I am, so he
Okay.
may have some better abilities or ideas.
I believe I did give him... No, I didn't do that, did I? Never mind. Wrong guy. Sorry. I know one of your people has basically ranks in office or commander or officer or whatever I ended up calling it.
I thought it was him because that's why I set
Is it
him up.
him?
Yeah, because he was the one where you told me to like roll, and I rolled like really boss, and he
You're
said,
right.
"Oh, he'd be officer material."
You're right. My bad. I thought it was someone else. Okay, so yeah, he therefore does actually have ranks in that, so he could actually
Yes.
help with that. I'm going to go in and shift angles just a second here while you're doing that prep work. If you, the player, have any ideas for traps, please feel free to think of them and notate them so we could have those for the battle that is probably coming.
All right, I'll think of them in the meantime.
Zariel. I love this. I've got 3... So I have this thing on my screen that says our current locations. Most of you have probably seen this if you've ever watched any of the episodes. Right now I have 3 locations up because you have literally completely split the party. You have 100% split... I now have players in my campaign in 7 locations total across all the forums and you guys. Stop splitting the party!
It's not my fault.
Ah!
Not it.
Okay. Zariel, you are on the Maiden's Deceit. You are shaking your head on the Maiden's Deceit. You are typing on the Maiden's Deceit. Type. Can you hear me right now?
Yes.
Okay. So she can hear me, and she's very desperately trying to interact with the Maiden's Deceit.
The mic
Thingamabob.
is working, Zan.
Yeah, we can hear you.
I know.
Okay.
I was
like-
just being silly.
I like the idea that Zariel is literally like at a chunk of crystal, just like it's not working. It's playing music, but really badly. You know, like when someone doesn't know how to play piano. Seriously, Zariel, you're on the Maiden's Deceit. It's like an hour ago. What are you doing?
I well, I'm assuming since I deposited Snarg, like, did the dude Bob? Did Bob leave my quarters?
He's just hanging out in the guest room.
I know, but when he left, did he like leave my quarters because he was like, "Well, I guess you don't actually want to have anything to do with it." Da 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 da. So I'll just
The
go.
way I
Wait
believe
till
he
you.
phrased it was as he's leaving, he was like, well, I suppose that's everything I came here for. I do apologize for wasting your time, madam. If you would be so kind as to put me off when we reach Iraq, I would be very appreciative. Otherwise, I will no longer give you any other trouble or disturb you, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. So Z's gonna go back, and after some time in dropping Snarg off, she realizes that she never did get the answer to her question. And she's going to go back and find out why. We're going to go back and attempt to find out why he was following her.
So he's sleeping right now.
So, so
I'm guessing you have to wake him.
I tried knocking.
Oh, you try knocking. Okay. Did you give this person a nice one of the nice quarters or one of the junk quarters, by the way?
He's in one of the guest quarters.
Yes, but you have two groups of them. There's
No,
the
I have.
Well, okay, you have a barracks and you have guest quarters. So I'll assume he's in the guest quarters. So he gets himself dressed and answers the door. Yes, I'm sorry.
I just realized. You never actually answered my question.
Oh, please come in. I was just going to make some tea.
Oh, of course. I have a wide variety. I make them keep it on stock.
So he actually is using your tea because he doesn't have any of his possessions on him. So he starts brewing some tea. He picks the pomegranate and chamomile tea.
Excellent choice. It's good for a nap, but it won't really help you wake up.
I'm not too worried about waking up. I could set an alarm if I need to. There we go.
Okay.
The correct question to that would be, what's an alarm? No, I'm kidding. There's woven alarms. That's a thing. So he hands you a cup. Here you go, ma'am.
Thank you. I sip my tea. It's lovely.
It is
course.
quite lovely because you bought it. This is excellent tea.
I buy exceptional. Yeah, I buy very nice tea.
So here's an odd question for you, ma'am. Why do you ask
Of course.
questions to which you already know the answers?
Well, I was just wondering if there was anything besides the conversation that we had earlier that was the key to you being following me.
Well,
Because you never gave me a direct answer.
well, it's not. It is admittedly my job to not give direct answers.
Ah, yes. But being in the business as I am,
The
I
business.
tend to, being in the business that I am,
Yes, what
as
business
you
would
well
that be?
know.
Business of not answering your questions, apparently.
Z's literally just kind of being like the business of following people and being sneaky and doing stuff that might be not 100% with the current legal terms of the area that you happen to be in for the exchange of information and or monetary funds or favors.
So with more poise than I can manage right now, he says, "Ma'am, that may be the most elegant description of our job I've ever heard."
I can't see your face right now.
I can't do it. I can't be serious about this.
So Z's just kind of, and she's
Wonderfully
just like,
put, madam. Wonderfully
so
put.
being in the business that I am, I've come to over the years
Hang on.
rather enjoy
Really quick. Roll int.
straight answers.
Roll int.
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear that you say that.
Yeah, I just
Hold on.
wanted you to roll while you're talking, so we can zip to.
Hold on, I'm waiting for the int rolling tab to appear. I rolled a 10,
Total.
which makes that 16.
16. I'll say 16 is enough. You realize that the whole reason he asked that was to see if you are willing to speak honestly and openly in the area. Most spies, even at a certain, even in their own locales, will not actually speak openly for fear of being spied in on or having devices monitoring them or whatever. The fact that you answered openly
He's
was
not really a spy.
I know, but the fact that you answered openly was what he was asking. That was what he was interested in.
That's what he was looking.
I just realized
Okay.
I'm an idiot, but whatever. So as he,
But yes.
so you're like, got it. The business of being a spy. Espionage.
I didn't say that.
Who got you in, just out of curiosity?
I'm not entirely certain. I have a benefactor somewhere along the lines. I haven't seen him or met him that I know of. He took an interest in me when I was a child. Things happen.
These things,
But
I know that very well.
you still haven't answered my question.
Well, what is it you want? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Yeah.
Is this actually happening in character?
No.
Did he just tickle himself by...
He's
That
no.
would be funny.
That would be funny, but no, he's being pretty serious at the moment. So he says, I suppose that's true. Well, there are individuals who have marked you as someone who might potentially have purpose or be a beneficial ally in the future, and they wanted me to make sure to keep an eye on you, especially since your home base was just sent a very, shall we say, foolish and stupid attack, which should be arriving there in, I don't know how long, a few hours at least. And I wanted to just, kind of take the measure of you. And when I say I wanted, I mean they wanted, because I'm not the one making these decisions.
Of course.
You...
May I ask who they are, since we've decided we were going to be honest now?
I suppose that's true. But that's not really quite my hesitation, ma'am. You see, unfortunately, thanks to certain order members, who shall go nameless at the moment, and the individual, there's been some smearing, shall we say, of our organization. We're not actually evil or bad or anything like that, but people are using us as a boogeyman, Oh, everything is their fault. Oh, they're behind every little conspiracy and every little terrible thing. They're the ones who started the war. As if we want war, for God's sakes. Do you know how many people's lives are being wasted every second right now? As we sit here
A
talking,
lot. I
there
watched
are
an
people
entire town burn.
dying. Why? Just burning a town. Even ignoring the obvious...
With magic.
With magic? That's odd. Even ignoring the obvious repugnant
Yes,
nature of
very
that.
odd.
Why would you waste such a resource? What does war benefit? What's the point of destroying something when you could conquer it? Or at the very least, work with it, coordinate with it. God, this is the exact same garbage that affected their original... Oh, I'm sorry, that's really not my place to say. Whatever. I have not answered your question, ma'am. I work for an organization known as the Viosians.
Now comes the out-of-character question, because I have way too much out-of-character knowledge. How much does Z know about the Viosians, like the attack on that whatcha-face?
Okay.
What?
You have a lot of deliberate misinformation about the Viosians.
Okay.
Deliberate, I mean I, the GM, have been deliberate about it. You think you know that the Viosians are the ones behind starting the war, You think you know that the Viosians are the ones who assassinated the undermarket. You think you know, taking out all the meddlers, that whole thing. You think you know that the
Yeah, yeah.
Viosians are the ones who were have a deep personal grudge against the exchange, and therefore were desperate to
I
take
don't
them
know
out.
anything about that.
I guess
I
that's
left the
true.
exchange before that happened.
I guess that's true. You're right. My bad.
Although, no, that would
You know that
well,
the
because Rentga's been in contact with the members of the exchange since that happened. Did they mention that in their letters that the Viosians were after them?
actually, I think Rory did.
Okay, so now I have to decide if Kezrin would. Well, I guess Kezrin would have just spilled the beans.
Yeah, she wouldn't keep that to
So
herself.
Z does know. No, she probably laughed at it.
Yes, the
So
Viosians
so when
desperately.
so when he mentioned the Viosians, Z's gonna kind of snicker and be like, "So, are you all really trying to go? Are you really trying to destroy the exchange?"
The who?
Yeah, exactly. I
He
can help with that if you really want to, because I would.
he just raises an eyebrow, like with a genuine look of confusion, like, okay.
Please tell me you want help with that.
Yeah, Z's pretty much like, please tell me that you actually are doing that, and I can help you with that. No? Damn. Okay.
I'm afraid I don't know
Continue.
what you're talking about, ma'am. You also know in character that the Viosians are always associated with technology, not magic. That's actually been a sticking point that has been consistent with every time you've encountered them or their agents.
Oh, so you guys made the electric light bally ship.
The Electric Light Ball E ship.
Yeah, it tried to disintegrate me.
He tilts his head at you.
Well, that makes sense now.
I can't even begin to guess at what particular things you've heard about us, ma'am.
Oh no, I encountered that one myself.
You encountered a Light Ball E ship.
Lightning ball.
Lightning Ball E ship.
Yes, the inside was filled with a giant rotating, like cyclone of lightning.
A
hurt like hell.
cyclone of lightning. I see.
Me.
You must have had some very exciting adventures, ma'am.
Oh, this was just a couple of days ago.
Oh, you're talking about our patrol vessel.
Oh, was that a patrol vessel?
Yeah,
Why didn't you just shoot us?
it's a basic low-level scout. It's actually fully automated. It just attacks anything that approaches it aggressively.
We weren't approaching it. We were just watching. Well, whatever.
No, you were actually going at it full tilt, straight directly towards it at full speed.
Yeah, so we could see.
That's the GM reminding you that you were going straight at it at full speed.
Yeah, so we could
Yeah, we
watch
kind
it.
of were.
So the automated patrol vessel was like. I was actually hopeful you guys would like try to approach cautiously, because then it would just wouldn't do anything. It would have just been like, yep. Anyways, got it. Why did you end up destroying that?
I wasn't the one that was driving. Wait, did he ask me why I destroyed it?
Yeah, why'd you destroy our ship?
Well, I didn't, technically.
Oh, that makes me feel so much better.
Well, it's kind of like that airship that got blown up. I didn't technically destroy it either. I just
Wait,
irreparably
you destroyed the
damaged it.
airship up in the Alluvian lands?
No, not that airship. A little airship, a little skiff in the middle of some town in someplace.
I think I
I
heard
don't
about that report. It was actually in Hebian tow, ma'am.
Oh, yes, yes. I didn't mean to.
You didn't
I was just mad at it.
mean to.
Well,
I thought that was
yes,
me.
and I'm not the one technically that caused it to detonate. I just grounded it by irreparably damaging its hovering device.
Why would you
I'm not
damage
an
something as valuable and useful as an airship?
Because the asshole who was flying it shot missiles at me and it hurt.
You seem to be fine.
Yes, I'm fine now.
I got better.
There's this thing. There's this thing called white magic.
You
It
know,
heals all sorts of shit.
for my viewers at
Yeah.
home, I get asked a question often. How do you do blah blah? What's a tip you can give from for a GM or a fledgling GM? Just prepare to be in a constant, non-stop state of exasperation with your players. Remember, no matter what character you're personally taking care of, whatever NPC you're running at the time, whatever the players did, that NPC's reaction is probably always going to be the exact same thing, which is, "You did what?" You,
Yep.
Anyways, so he just kind of scratches his head for a second and says, "I see." It is a I and he doesn't even know what to say at that point. He's just completely lost for words. Yeah.
I don't recommend destroying airships, by the way. They kind of explode in a rather spectacular way.
Yes, we're well aware of the flaw.
There's a flaw that causes it?
They're badly designed, yes. I don't know all the details. That's not my area of expertise. But there's apparently something in the inherent design of the engine, or not the engine, the what's it called? That
Magicite core?
Magicite core, that's it. That it gets really, really unstable under the wrong circumstances and violently releases all of the energy within it in basically a microsecond.
Do you have a bomb?
A what? I'm sorry?
A bomb.
You took all of my possessions. You wouldn't even give me clothes at first.
In your head.
You asking if I have a bomb in my skull.
Well, it seems far-fetched, but your nose is made of metal.
We've already been over this, okay? It's a fairly common procedure for anyone with a deviated septum, rather.
Do I need to roll?
Yeah, you totally need to roll. Oh, you win. I rolled a 1. I mean, he can beat you overall, but the fact that he rolled a 1 means he just fails. He is obviously obfuscating.
I know that's not the case. I thought we were being honest with one another.
Honest, ma'am, does not
Well, relatively
necessarily,
honesty.
as I say, it does not extend to all secrets. However, I'm
What, is your
curious.
nose that big of a deal for you?
Actually, no, the nose really was. I was actually telling the truth on that one. No, the funny thing is I have a small device which is intended to ensure that under the worst possible circumstances, I have a way out.
Oh.
See,
you can't just bite your tongue off.
Amongst our... No, that's really unpleasant. Why would you ever do that? Amongst our
Well, it's no
profession,
less unpleasant than blowing yourself up.
blowing yourself up, you don't feel anything, and happens instantaneously.
I
If you
suppose.
bite your tongue off, you feel a lot of things for a fairly decent period of time, and you can still be saved under the right circumstances. The
But
entire
you no longer
purpose,
talk.
the entire purpose of this device is there are circumstances worse than death. We want to
Yes.
make sure that those circumstances don't happen. It is a final resort.
Can I avoid having one of those put in my head?
Well, if you want to. If that's your preference, I don't know why you would want that, though.
Well, because I have other options to get out of situations worse than death.
Oh, okay. You... Do you... No, no. You're not a blue mage, are you?
No. I
Wait,
don't even know what a blue mage
was
is.
gonna say-
You shouldn't either.
I was gonna say, wait, roll to see if you know what a blue mage is. Knowledge arcane.
I think Z has encountered a blue mage.
Give me the details, because I don't remember anything about that.
I don't remember.
I know every blue mage in the setting, and I
Which
don't think
one-
he's many of them. So, he does know what a blue mage is. So he asks about that. You do not. I'm just going to flat out say you don't. No knowledge roll.
I decided. I already kind of said that. I think you should just leave it as it was.
Okay, fine.
Where I say, I don't know. I don't even know what a blue mage is, and neither do you.
Okay. Well, we'll just leave that as is then.
Because that's not even something I've heard the theory of. Because blue mage is the one that you can like pick up other people's magic,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes,
You can do all magics, period.
pretty
So,
much.
yeah, that even seems theoretically impossible.
Yeah, just randomly being able to cast a spell you've never even heard of before.
What's the other one?
Ridiculous. Violet Mage?
Yes, I have encountered a violet mage. There's more of those.
Yes, you have encountered Gerlin.
So he's gonna say, you know, wait, are you a blue mage? And Z's gonna look at him and be like, you mean can use all forms of magic? No, that's theoretically impossible. Are you talking about a violet mage?
He looks at you for a moment.
Regardless, I'm not even one of those.
Okay, I was just wondering. There
Would
are
you have
ways,
known
of
if I
course.
was?
Known how? Yeah, no.
But in all honesty, Magus, he should know exactly what I'm talking about because I basically said without saying that I'm a desolate because that's how I brought him here, and I let slip something else along similar lines earlier.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
So I'm totally okay with this conversation happening, but
Okay.
if
I'll
he
keep it in
continues
mind.
to kind of
No,
poke around in a
no,
circles,
he
he's
won't.
just going to be like, no, I mean, like, I can leave.
Yeah, no, he's not going to. I also don't want to risk him failing a will save right about now. That would be
Oh,
bad.
he already had one against me. He succeeded it.
Yeah, but it's been like an hour or so.
I suppose that's true.
Actually, more. It's been like 3 hours at this point. Anyways,
So he's just forgotten.
he's moved on. So his will save has
Yeah, here.
reverted.
Thank you. I'll be coming to bed soon.
Okay, so let me think about this. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that he can do to try and convince you in character to join the Viosians.
Well, he did a lot by mentioning blue mages and violet mages.
True.
Simply the fact that somebody knows what those things are and considers the possibility of them and was talking about the Magicite Corps and knew about what happened in Hebe and Toe. Z is at least interested enough to go talk to somebody higher up about
Okay.
some specifics
Okay.
for information gathering purposes, if nothing else.
Right. So he is also going to wait, did I already do that? God, my memory is terrible right now.
Did you already do what?
Did I already mention that there's an attack force going after Fox
Yes.
Ridge?
Yes.
In character. Did I say that
Yes.
in character? Okay. And Z's reaction was,
Well, she sent Snarg there. He should be able to take care of it. I mean, she'll probe him to find out the specifics of, what.
Oh, okay.
exactly.
He'll actually share the specifics then. So what happened apparently is a certain individual who is a little bit too used to the scent of power without knowing how to wield it, and he's referring to the prime minister, not the
Okay.
governor, the prime minister who Snarg insulted, if you'll remember,
Ah.
by treating her like she's just some kind of common customer rather than with the veneration that she deserves. So she had apparently been insulted in some way, so she ordered a really relatively small attack force, the kind of thing that would wipe out, an army under the right circumstances. But I suppose it'd be a good test to see if your Fox Ridge people are worthy of inclusion. Or not the Fox Ridge, excuse me, the Blood Fox, if your Blood Fox people are worthy of inclusion.
Well, exactly what kind of force did we send after them? Not the Tuskers, right? I mean, would be silly.
What the hell? Oh, I just lost Guido. That's odd.
Yep, he's gone.
Especially since he appears to be there. And he is there.
Hello.
His camera just restarted.
Yeah. Okay, whatever.
Maybe his internet bleeped.
Yeah, he's back. Yeah, whatever. Weird. So, right, okay. So, he mentions, it's actually a very simple scout force. It's all she actually had the authority to order on. There's not even a living unit going up there with them. Fully automated.
Oh, okay.
So, I don't know the composition, but I know it's...
Do you think it's something 4 frigates could take care of?
No.
Oh, okay.
You didn't see the grin.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
And
But Z's, regardless of what he responds with, Z's going to kind of be like, oh, okay.
yeah, his reaction though it is very flippant. But he is very sincere in his statement. No, he does not actually think 4 military grade frigates could take down this scout force.
Well, excuse me for a moment then.
Okay,
I need to retrieve something of some importance.
if you insist. Thank you for the tea.
No, continue to enjoy it. If you go down to our galley, there's a wonderful selection of
Oh yes,
puppets
I met
and
your
other
Mosswort
pastries.
individual. Wonderful person. Did an amazing thing. It was like some kind of spinach wrapped into like bread. It was wonderful. I loved it.
A spinach wrap. Yes, they're quite delicious. We have a variety of them. Now, pardon me.
Of course.
And Z's going to walk down the hall because there's guest quarters that are on her level, and that was the ones that he was in
Okay.
because the officer quarters are directly below hers.
Mm-hmm.
So she just walks down the hall back to her room and steps into her room and teleports to Fox Ridge,
Okay,
Where
where?
where she dropped off Snarg.
Okay. You can hear a alarm klaxon, which is going on right now
Okay.
throughout the area. A woven klaxon.
Well, I know where his officers' quarters are, so that's going to be my first stop.
At this point in time, we'll go ahead and say that there are several people in there. Snarg is not, because he's off with
The captain.
no the geomancer. His name I just forgot again. Terranok. He's off with Terranok.
Anyway, my goal
practicing
is to figure out
and
where
doing
he
something.
is first.
So he gets in there, and in there, he sees a few of the officers who are running around like chickens with their heads cut off, trying to get defenses prepped. And the moment that you step in, they're like, "Ma'am, you need to get out of here," because they think you're a civilian. You need to get out of here. There's Tuskers coming. There's Tuskers coming. Oh my God.
Shut up!
Uh,
Where is Snarg?
Mr. of Wildpaw, what title do you use, Snarg?
Commander.
No. I used Commander. The Directorate used Commander. I feel like you wrote down a title.
Yes, I did.
Political officer.
Other than the Neelix.
Political officer. Yeah, no,
Political
Z
officer, no.
should totally be like, where's political officer Snarg?
No, I have many titles, but that is not one of them. I think it's a. I don't remember if I went with General or Ranger General, but
I don't remember
one of
either.
those. General would
Yeah,
probably work.
I don't know. We'll just
We'll
go
just
General
shorten
right
it to
now.
General for the moment.
Yeah, so for this exact moment in time, they say the General Wildpaw, is currently at practicing some kind of trap defense mechanism. I'm not sure what they're doing exactly.
Where?
At
Okay.
It's a place
Do
that
I
will
pass
soon
any
become.
of the directorate peoples that I recognize on my way there?
Oh no, they're not even on the ground at this point.
Excellent.
Snarg is actually out there as we speak, working with Terranok, again, in the exact same manner he described, trying to weave and move and pull. There's actually an underground river under this mountain. I decided this forever ago, which you have decided to tap. You literally just discovered it as you're doing this. You decided to tap, and so you've got a huge font of water there to help, because you don't need water. You can make water with the ley line, but this will help. It'll make it easier, so you can do more with it. It effectively lowers the cost, put it into those terms.
Okay.
Yeah. No, it was in the bag right here.
So, Zariel, you have found the general. Oh, right. We're at
Commander
Fox Ridge.
General Snarg of Wildpaw. Your attention, please.
I got a couple more titles then. All right. Yeah,
Political
nice to see you
officer
back.
of Wildpaw.
We're just sitting there, and so I'm just imagining that we've actually got like a map of the place laid out in sand that we just made. That we're
Oh yeah, totally. Like just
Yes.
just pulled it up from the sand. And it's
like
got this
Arkham
full
style.
3D thing. Yeah.
It's like, so we could do this. By the way, I came up with like 20 traps they could do.
Awesome.
We could do this, a clean one called the washing machine, and
I already like it.
this and this and
Snarg.
Z? What? We're really busy. I'm not that glad to see you, but we're
Well, Well, you're going to be glad whenever I give you the rest of the information that you've been needing in order for this attack to not happen. Also, you're an
Okay.
idiot.
Why is he an idiot?
Because you're the reason this place is getting attacked in the first place. I just
That's
found out.
not
What did I
true.
do?
Well, it's a scout force, but don't let that turn you down, because according to What's-His-Face, that four frigates that we have in the air here aren't going to be enough to take care of it.
Of course he'd say that. Did he say what's with
It's
the
the
Scout Force?
Viosians. We're fighting the Viosians.
Hang on. I'm just going to do a quick roll here. Okay. Terranok does not appear to react.
All right, so what's in this Scout Force?
It's completely automated from what I understand, but
Oh, so we're not actually fight. So they didn't send the Tuskers.
no.
This might be a little
Apparently
bit
they're worse.
Now that I don't believe. Roll a disbelief.
What do you roll?
Oh, they are worse. Okay.
You believe everything.
Well, if they're anything like the one that we took out in the harbor, then we know how to fight them.
No, they're not sending ships. They're sending sentinels.
You have not fought any of those in yet.
Yeah.
don't know what that
So
means.
Z is going to conjure up the most fearsome thing she can think of. Think Imperial Golem, darling. Remember that level of hard?
Terranok's like, whoa, hey, let's not go into
Shut up,
science
Terranok.
fiction here.
Will
Roll
we beat one of those
disbelief.
before? Maybe we
Yeah,
can
roll.
do it again,
Hang
right?
on, he has to roll to disbelieve Imperial Golems. He disbelieves Imperial Golems.
I was about to say, I rolled demoralize against him inputting into this conversation.
He realizes his life is meaningless.
That means we're going to have a hard fight, but it's just going to be a slightly different fight.
No, it's a theoretically impossible fight. Have you evacuated the civilians?
Well, depends on what
I mean,
plan.
I don't really care about a bunch of dare cost floozies dying, but
Oh my god. 100 dark side points.
Well, based on the amount of time that we thought we had, we thought that they would just get cut down if we sent them out to the nearest place that was safe, which is Al Jalima. So, unless for some reason the officers decided that was better than holding them up. So I
Oh, no,
don't
no,
know.
no. The officer definitely agreed with you that the captain agreed they should probably be holed in.
They're currently bunkered up in the lower chambers because there's no time to get them out.
okay. Well, I'll give you the option. You can come with me, or you can stay behind. I'm leaving
To do what?
to go get Guido.
Oh, you can come back?
Well, in about 14 hours from now.
Oh my god.
14 hours? That's even
takes
longer.
12 hours.
How did we extend the trip?
It's a 12-hour trip, and I'm still not all the way there yet. I don't know if I'm 2 or 1 or 3 or however many hours left away from Iraq.
We'll say 9.
I'm 9 hours away from Iraq. So I'm 4 hours into the journey to Iraq to pick up Guido.
Well, I can't. I mean, beating these things relies on me being here.
Okay.
It sounds like it sounds like we're not going to be able to reason with them if they're all metalheads.
Yes, they are a scout force.
So the only thing.
However, if you come with me, you might be able to apologize to the
I don't know what to apologize for.
insult the governor.
The
Prime Minister.
The Prime
You
Minister.
insulted the prime minister, and she's mad, and that's why this force is even happening.
It,
What would I apologize for? I literally don't know what I did.
I have to point out that Z should already know another option to avoid fighting here.
What?
Well, the Viosians wouldn't attack an ally.
That's true. But they aren't going to. They wouldn't attack me, but that doesn't mean they wouldn't attack them.
No, they wouldn't attack an ally.
So what? I join, and then I
Not
tell them
you.
that that's my base.
You all.
But they don't. Snarg and Guido aren't. Like they haven't. I guess I could. Okay.
It would take minutes to explain to them the situation. You could teleport, and they have radio travel, so they could call off the assault.
Okay.
However, I'm not forcing you to do that, nor am I saying that's the right choice. I am just mentioning Z in character is more than capable enough of realizing that is another option.
Okay, so Z is going to be like, so do you want to fight them or do you want to not fight them? Because your choices are we join them, we fight them, we apologize.
I don't really want to fight them if we don't have to.
Well, do you want to join them or do you want to apologize?
Last time they asked me to join, they said they were going to put some kind of mind control thing on me.
That's not what they said.
That's totally what they said.
That's totally not. It's just to make sure that you're loyal for the duration of the contract.
That's totally what that is.
Look, it's just a slave collar. You get used to it after a while.
Do you want to join them or do you want to apologize? Doesn't matter if you don't know what you're apologizing for. You just have to seem sincere.
You just tell me what to say.
Okay, let me roll politics.
Oh, dearest Mrs. What's her name? I have her name like up right here. I just haven't looked at it.
26.
Lunasha of Seeker. That's her damn name. So, oh, Mrs. of Seeker, I apologize humbly for treating you without the reverence that is deserved of someone of your most esteemed station. I do hope in the future that we will be able to move forward without any further difficulties or administrations. It is my hope that you will be able to be one of our most...
Writing this down, Snark?
He's like listening. He's like, this is a bunch of hogwash.
Of course it is. This is how you work in high society, and she smacks him.
Jeez, you gotta know I don't really mean this.
There's
no way I can lie about this.
I mean,
Is that
You're not
non-lethal
lying.
damage?
that's a good question. Is that non-lethal
You're
damage?
diplomating.
See?
No.
You smack him with lethal damage, Snark is dead.
I don't smack him with non-lethal damage. A smack is I rolled a 2 on my hit.
I have 2 hit points.
So... No. She rolled a 2 on her to hit. So what literally happens is...
We can't see you.
I know, but you could probably understand based on the sound effect.
All right, so wait, hang on. I got an idea. So...
I'm assuming I can smack him on the face, so that wasn't my to hit. That was my to strength.
A thing has happened. What?
That was my to smacking,
Okay,
not to hitting.
got it.
So we'll bring out the quill that supposedly makes my wording better.
Ah!
All right, wait. So what? So go over
So
that
you're
again.
going to pin an apology.
Dearest Miss Lunacha of Seeker, most
Dearest.
venerated Prime Minister of the great and
venerated.
magnificent Nevere Confederacy. There's...
So he's going to get there and he's just going to read off this piece of paper.
He can memorize it.
I've seen politicians do this before.
That's true. Sometimes they're really blatant about it, too. They'll just look down, read, look down. It always bothered me.
So, you hold it behind her, and I'll just read.
It's just with this big sign.
Teleprompter.
Yeah, teleprompter right behind her. Could you move that teleprompter closer? Okay. You've decided the apology route. As usual, you pick the thing I didn't plan for.
Okay,
so
you ready to apologize?
I was ready for the battle.
to get you for
I
a
was ready
bath.
for the political ramifications.
I had
of
one
the
literally
other
3
thing.
days ago.
Yes, and you stink.
I took a bath 3 days ago. What?
Look, the Pterodon, this is... What are people going to think of a geomancer if he's clean?
They're going to think that
Pterodon's
you're a
like just says, "I'm
politician."
not getting into this." You're the general.
Come on, and so Z starts like dragging him back toward
Hang on,
to my office.
it's fine. We found a river. I can just go like... Oh,
No.
small coffee cup.
You're
All right.
getting scented.
I'm so sorry, Snarg. I am so sorry.
Z is going to make sure this is done correctly.
Would you stop drinking from the nether, Guido?
I'm not getting
Wait,
curls
hey,
in my
look,
hair this time.
Look what I found him.
Zan.
I see.
Take a drink of the
Stop
galaxy.
drinking from the nether.
Oh my god. Oh, poor Snark.
Speaking of Nether, are you streaming again after this?
No, I'm cut it off for the evening.
Okay.
Why do you ask?
Come up here.
I'm just curious.
Okay. So Snarg is off getting scented. Poor Snarg.
Apparently.
Yes, I'm giving him a bath, a scented oil bath,
No.
with
So
the proper scents and bows in his hair.
for our viewers at home, one of the other challenges of the GMs is trying to be adaptive to the thing that when your players inevitably and invariably do things you never planned for. So one of the things that's the most challenging thing for me personally as a GM is trying to come up with an in-lore reason to do what I, the GM, already want to do. For example, I have to now figure out a way for Fox Ridge to become under attack. But it's okay, because I've already come up with a way for that to happen. It's just going to be a less horrifyingly devastating attack that they might have survived. Also, one other little tidbit, try to keep in mind that you're playing a game with people, and therefore everyone wants to have fun, right? Now that may sound like a duh thing, but I can't treat this as if it's a story I was writing in the vacuum, otherwise all three of these people would have died in this battle. No offense, guys, but writing-wise, that would be a great way to end this particular arc and start
Hey,
the next
one
one.
of these three of us have died.
So, yeah, the battle at Fox Ridge, destroying, just obliterating everyone, that would completely alter the course of history for the entire story. But I can't do that, obviously, so I need to come up with other ways to try and have impact without directly trying to actively kill my players.
You
However,
just gave us our air base. You're going to take it away?
However, the balance here is really hard to keep because you also want to make sure you're threatening the players. There does have to be a risk of death there. Otherwise, they're just going to feel invincible and like they're not challenged or whatnot. So make sure to try and kill your players as often as possible. That's what I'm trying to
Unless
say.
you're Charlie, in which case you might ought to lay off because you succeed far too quickly.
Because you know the game better than they do.
And if you don't want to feel responsible, or if you don't want them to think you're responsible, it's just, oh, critical hit. Oh, I'm sorry.
That's called flubbing, by the way. Oh man, what's your one of my favorite things to pull out?
What's your total health?
That one. What's your health right now?
What? Yeah.
What's your? And I'm looking at the damage, and I'm seeing how much it would do, and they're like, "Oh, my health is about 30 less than that," and I'm looking at like, okay. Let me think about that for a minute. Anyways.
I'll get back to you.
Right about at this point in time, Guido, who is back at, while Snarg is getting poofed up, your hair's all like sticking straight on end, so you're like that really poofy dog with the giant puffball of hair. Excuse me. Guido is back at Iraq, obviously. He's finished his trade negotiations. The Phantom Menace has begun, as a consequence.
Wait, what?
You just finished your trade negotiations. So, Phantom Menace. Anyways, you're back there.
Trade negotiation.
There we go. I can't do it right now because of my throat. I've been sick all week. I was saying something. Right. You finished that. You've dealt with her. You're free to go wherever you want, relatively speaking, after that. You're basically free to go. Whenever you leave, however, you'll notice something odd. The Sentinels basically don't let you leave the palace. Like, if you try to go out, they're just like, sorry, sir. For your safety, we need to keep you in at the moment.
Because we don't know what you are.
They don't say why. They just...
It's kind of implied.
It is kind of implied.
Okay.
We don't want you getting scared and blowing people's arms off again. That was somewhat unpleasant.
So I'm currently just making the most of the situation, talking with other people that might be able to give me information.
Okay. Do me... I know we haven't pulled this out in a while for this group. Do a gather information check.
Ooh.
Hey, I use those all the time. I continually dump points in them.
It's just funny to me because the forum campaign uses gather information constantly. Which is fine. I mean, that's
Ooh.
the purpose in it.
Natural 20. So 29.
29. That is more than I
Oh,
wanted.
did you remember your other dice?
Yeah, I rolled a 1 on my d6.
God. A 20 and a 1. How appropriate.
Yep.
You overhear that apparently the Eastern. You just get a little tidbit of information that the Eastern Reach has apparently been stepping up production lately since they're actually going. They're finished now. They finally finished. They got their test run going, and they're stepping into full scale production. That's apparently going to be a temporary facility, but at the very least, it's nice to have something for the right now, especially since they want to test things with the big guys up north as quickly as possible. You also hear from someone else entirely that apparently the very Confederacy as a whole is desperately trying to seek some kind of diplomatic solution to the war and trying to find some way to actually end the conflict. But the way it's phrased strikes you as odd. It's not just the war with Alluvia. They say the war, but as you're overhearing them and you're talking with them a bit, and you just kind of casually talk, they mention all three fronts of the war.
Do they mention what the fronts are?
They say, "Oh, no, no." And then they scurry off.
Okay.
You also find out that this week, apparently, the soup of the week is potato.
Much preferred to the pea soup.
Pea soup will be the soup of the week next week.
Ah.
And do we want to cut off here before Snarg tries his apology?
Sure.
Or do you want to do
So-
it after Snarg tries his apology?
I was about to say, what I was figuring is that we will take Snarg, like I'll teleport Snarg back to the ship, and then Snarg will offer a verbal apology through my dude,
Through the headcom.
and then I will take Snarg back to the castle to do his in-person apology. Basically, a request to apologize.
Okay. So here's how this is going to go down. You start saying, I want to do apology. Can you get in hold of her? And he's going to look. The orc gentleman is going to look at you for a long moment, and he's clearly considering something. And he's looking at Snarg, who, Snarg, I'd like to know if you're trying to hide how miserable you are.
And having to apologize.
No.
No,
Something.
okay. So you are openly just grousing. You're just like, ugh.
Which I'm sure pleases him.
Well, let's see. The thing is, he's looking at you and he's looking at her. And he's just debating.
Basically, Z's going to walk into the room, like knock on the door when she comes into the room. She goes, "After our earlier conversation, it occurred to me that my unsocialized compatriot has insulted someone who is getting ready to do likely irreparable damage to something of high value that I just recently attained. We would like the opportunity to allow him to apologize if you could possibly make that happen."
Okay. So he again, he's going to consider it for a moment. He's going to look at Snarg for a moment, who's grousing.
Who's looking very angsty.
Then he's going to look at Zariel. And he's considering. And after a moment, he gives out a bit of a sigh. And he puts his head to his ear and is like, "Oh." And he starts, actually, I don't want to do that. He's like, "Can I have just a moment of privacy, please?" He looks up.
Sure.
So
Excuse us.
The two of you walk out, and he's going to do something that you don't know unless you want
Listen
to
at the door.
I was going to say, you could listen at the door if you want.
Oh, definitely listen to Zor.
Okay, roll awareness.
All right.
He is going to roll a stealth composed, but he's at a disadvantage. Ooh, yeah, okay.
He's in my guest quarters.
Yeah,
It's not like those are designed for stealth.
like I said, he's at a disadvantage. I take these things into account.
I don't have any geo things that can help.
But it's a 30.
Unless I can use my geo abilities to carry his words in the wind.
I think he noticed that. He's just suddenly speaking as if he's in a megaphone.
It's okay, it's fine. It's the cleaning service. All right.
Oh, we're back on the ship. We're back on the ship. There we go.
I did not roll well. I had a 27.
That's actually still enough because of his massively terrible roll. Both of you overhear him say, all right.
I'm just standing outside the door, by the way. I'm not actively listening through the door.
Commander? Yes. You know that scout force? No, the test one you sent after the directorate. Yes, that one. I need to pull a solid with you. Yes, I know. I know. Look, it has to do with a future ally. Uh-huh. Yeah, that's exactly what I want. I know, I know. Oh, who gives a damn what she thinks? You don't care any more than I do. Yeah, politicians, am I right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know, I know. We're going to have to do another test soon. Look, I've got another idea on that. You've got... Okay, okay, I know. I'm not telling you how to do your job. Sorry, didn't want to overstep. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. Really? Wow. Yeah, I kind of agree with you on that. You were still... Really? God, she is so damn petty. Okay, okay. Mm-hmm. All right. I owe you a drink then. Yep. Bye. He walks up, knocks on the door.
You mean opens the door?
He opens the door.
He knocks on the door to come back in when we're the ones that stepped outside.
He's standing right next to you the whole time, having the conversation. Oh, hi! Right, I forgot about you guys. Hi, what's up? No, so he opens the door. Hi, yes. And he just composes himself for a moment. And with a tone of great regret, he says, in the interests of fostering future relations, the attack has been called off.
Oh, excellent. What do I owe you?
Your time and attention, I think, would be sufficient. Also, the fact that he looks miserable was a nice little gift, so I appreciate that.
I'm not
Well,
going
he
to dress up
wasn't
for you.
exactly looking forward to having to apologize.
It's nothing personal, Mr. of
I don't mind apologizing. It's just I have to wear ribbons in my hair.
They do match your
He's totally
complexion.
wearing ribbons in his hair.
They
'cause
do
I'm
match your
in him.
complexion. I mean,
Can you believe this is what they put people through?
now, as the way you say that, he actually just softens a little bit, and he's like, honestly, I've actually had to do worse than that. So I kinda
2 ribbons.
sympathize.
No, Snarg, you have like a whole head full of ribbons right now.
Oh,
He's
oh,
just-
so we
I once had
completely
to dress
Beauty and
up in a
the Beast.
tutu for this one balloon. Let's just not go into it. Let's not go into it.
I don't even know what
You're
that
a
is.
poodle right now.
You are
So Z's going to say, would you like both of our times or just mine?
Well, actually, if you want to go get more comfortable, Mr. of Wildpaw, I wouldn't mind discussing things with you as well.
All right.
Tufts of fur are coming out with it. By the way, as a
Snarg,
point
would
of
you mind
flavor...
doing that in your room where I have
Where's
a room vacuum
Oh, shoot.
installed?
Where is it? Hang on. I need to pull up the crew manifest.
What you need?
I need one of the deckhands. Just any of them.
You want Noel, Moorsman, or Ogre?
Let's go with the Moorsman.
Jaloot of Boil Reach.
Okay, so, like, literally
She.
20 seconds, yeah, Jaloot's female name. Literally 20 seconds later, after all this fur is on the ground, a female Moorsman comes around the corner with, like, a broom and a dustpan. Rushes up, starts brushing up the fur.
And Z's like, Snarg, can you finish in your room where I have the auto vacuum
No, it's
installed?
okay. I got it, ma'am. I got it.
No, I don't want to cause you any more work. I'm
It's
sure you
okay.
have fun
I'm already
with it.
right here.
This is real weird. I
Sir,
think
would
I'm
you
going
like-
to go to my room no matter what.
Would you like me to get some... Here, I can get some of these out for you, sir, without tearing your hair fur. And she starts pulling out some of the ribbons.
Carefully.
Very
He
carefully.
just looks resigned to the fact that this is happening, and
Sir, would you
Starts
like
going down the hall to the.
would you like a manicure, sir? I can arrange that as well.
Yeah.
Good, because I don't know how to frickin' do that. Would you like a large mug of ale? Because I can make that happen.
you know what? Why not?
We got some ogre rod if you want it. We just
So
picked it up.
I'm gonna turn around to the other guy and say, I'm assuming that it will make your life easier if we cool the political hotheads to a degree.
Political hotheads have a purpose. War is not one of them.
Well, yes, I realize that.
So, as the more separate we can keep the military from the idiots, the better off things will work out.
Well, yes, but what I'm asking is, will it make your life easier if I have him compose a letter of apology?
Oh, I understand. No. We're going to have her executed.
Ah, well, that works.
No reaction?
I'm glad I'm not in here.
Really? No freaking reaction to that?
Z's
Oh my
doesn't.
God.
Z's not entirely certain what position she's got herself in and how much of a favor she just gave
She
or just received. So she's in observation mode
Gotcha.
as she's trying to figure out exactly what it is that she's going to have to do to repay
Well,
this
the
cancellation.
the good news is, thanks to Guido's actions, I was pointing in the wrong direction there. Things have just gotten politically interesting. I'm very curious to see how that's going to turn out.
What was Guido's actions?
Everything he's done over the past 2 sessions, basically.
Ah, okay.
The pot has definitely been stirred, and this might actually see the end of the war soon, depending on how this turns out.
Ooh, fun. I'm not entirely certain I'm going to like what comes after the war, given what's going on, but
Oh no!
at least I have positioned myself comfortably with enough parties in power that I might benefit from the end of this war.
And Guido's got, a company going, which he just got tons of trade contacts. I mean,
Yeah.
I've already decided you're going to be successful in getting some really good. I did a few dice rolls. You're
Simply
gonna be doing
because
well.
you're associated with the governor.
And Snarg, of course, he's got his thing going on, and he's going to be well positioned. All 3 of you are going to be great. Now the exchange might be crushed like a bug over there, but
Z might have helped with that one.
It's our first mission.
Your very first mission. There's this organization that's called the Exchanger or something.
We'll
like
do
I don't
it
know,
for
I don't know.
free.
Well, oh, really? Okay, excellent. What the?
That my alarm was going on.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, I'm assuming that the exchange dying might have a little something to do with Z being like, wait, so is it true that you guys are singling out hunting down the exchange and all of its members?
Can I join in on that?
Can I help?
And then she encounters Coulson, who is the true leader of the exchange.
And she's like, oh, I'll just recruit him.
Anyways,
Because Coulson, if you remember, Coulson and Javan were the 2 out of that group that she didn't think were just complete idiots.
yeah, I do actually recall that.
I mean, she went out of her way to try to help Rory with his grief and stuff right before the airships exploded, and Rory's response was to get even more pissed off at her.
Anyways, I think we've reached a decent cutoff point.
I concur.
So we can start off next thing with the meeting that decides the fate of the entire freaking world, I think is what we're going to call that. Also, I'd just like to say congratulations to everyone. This was our 50th episode.
Oh,
Wow.
Nice.
So, woo!
Very cool.
I don't
50th
have
episode of Primus.
confetti. Sorry.
I thought about doing something special for this, but honestly, that was supposed to be the battle. That was supposed to be happening at Fox Ridge.
Oops.
So I failed miserably. Instead, I'm just going to have to change the entire status quo for the entire setting. Damn, what a shame.
As long as Z doesn't have
So-
to have metal slave
Anyways.
collars installed in her head, she'll be.
I'm going to go ahead and shut this off in the recording. So.
I just
Like-
have one question, and if you want to answer it as an in character knowledge or out of character knowledge, that's entirely up to you.
Okay.
But my question was the Prime Minister and her reaction was that slight something that she, trying to figure out how to word this so it makes sense. So was her feeling slighted simply a because she felt she should have received more respect, or should she actually have received more respect?
A little bit of both. Snarg was actually being very flippant towards her with regards to dealing with the head of state, basically.
Purposefully.
And purposefully, that's Snarg's style, right? So
Right.
most heads of states probably would have been upset by that. She took that the further step because she was trying to puff herself up as if she was someone more important than she was. So how dare he, that kind of a thing.
I'll
Okay.
just wipe him and his little organization off the face of the earth.
Yes. Which, if not for the setup of the Fox Ridge, if you were a normal Merc company or whatever, she totally had the power to do that. So, anyway, so now we're going to cut it off.